So we got chatter going on tonight. It's good. I got a few minutes to go, and you got me tonight, so I want to be able to use the time really well, but at the same time, I want to kind of get you prepped up for what's happening around here after this. So let me say a few words about group, and then we'll jump into kind of a chat talk tonight, and then you can decide. If you haven't gone to group yet, it may be an experience that you may be looking forward to. You may be going like, I'm not sure how that's going to go. So let me just tell you the guidelines for group if you go to group tonight. Keep your sharing focused to your own thoughts and your feelings, and limit your sharing to 3 to 5 minutes. Got it? Yeah. Oh, I need a better thing. Got it? Yeah. Got it. All right, so it's like 3 minutes, and we're into that thing. You get to say your story. There is no crosstalk, meaning that you don't talk when somebody else is talking. When two individuals engage in a dialogue and they exclude everybody else, that's crosstalk, and we want everyone to be able to say what they need to say without having other people interrupt what they're going to say, and then let the leader decide where they want to go. Agreed on that? Yeah. All right, I'll go next one. Here we go. We're here to support one another, and that therefore we are not here to fix anybody. Got it? No, we can't fix you. We cannot fix Andrea. Everyone agree? We cannot fix Andrea. So here's the deal, is that God is going to work in, here's what we believe in here. God is going to work in your life to bring healing in your life, but he's not here to fix you even. This is the weirdest part. We think that we're going to get better here. That's what we're going to do, meaning healthier, and we're going to get healed. Agree with that? Here we go. Anonymity and confidentiality is of the most importance. So what is said in group stays in group, and we hang out with that and understanding that. And therefore, if you don't have that, then when you walk away from here, you're going to feel threatened because you're going to think somebody's going to tell your story on the street. That's not their story to tell. The only story to tell on the street is your story. The only story to tell to another person is your story, not somebody else's story. So let's try to keep that together. And then offensive language is no place for us in a Christ-centered recovery group. So there are times that people will say stuff, and we understand that. And sometimes there's some energy of anger or frustration, or sometimes there's just habit. Anybody ever had the habit of just saying stuff that maybe is not so healthy for other people? Yeah. So sometimes stuff just comes, but we don't want to make that a regular practice around here. But we also want you to be free about that and to understand that we're not here to judge each other. We're here to help each other. Agreed? Yes. All right. So I wanted to say those things to you. And I had a conversation with somebody last week, and I said, can you tell me what happened for you when you went to group? When did group really work for you? And then they said this. Group really works when a light comes on. And I said, a light comes on. They go, yeah, you can see when someone's in group and a light comes on. And I said, when does the light come on? And the person said, light comes on when they're honest. So you stop BSing other people, you stop BSing yourself. You just say, I'm going to tell the truth. This is my deal. This is my thing. I'm just going to put it out there, and there is where it is. Now, here's the thing. You got a safe place to tell your stuff. And that's the important part. And along the process, you get to go to group, then you get to go through steps, and then through steps, you get a sponsor, and when you're walking with a sponsor, the sponsor will help you keep focused to your attention, because as you move towards something in your life, there's going to be health and healing for the hurts and the brokennesses in your life. Okay? All right. So honesty. And by the way, the other thing is, when you're honest, it's amazing to be in a group if you can be honest about stuff and you don't fear being rejected. Anyone in the room ever fear being rejected? I'm going to say something and I'm going to be excluded and someone's going to shove me outside. So you say something and someone, it could be awful, but somebody might go, okay, wow, dude, that was, okay, but we're not going to reject you. We're not going to reject you. All right, good. So I'm glad I hear you back there. That's a good thing. So I just wanted to say those things about recovery, about groups. We'll keep talking about it because we want to do it. So here's a verse I want to give to you tonight. And before, I should tell you a story. We heard a song. I have a brother. His name is Bill. My brother Bill lives in Atlanta. When we grew up together, we lived outside of the city of Toronto. We did a lot of stuff together in our neighborhood. My brother Bill is 3 years younger than I am. And he's a great guy. He's super energetic, tries stuff. I'm the older brother. He's the younger brother. We lived in a neighborhood where the immediate 4 homes all around us all had an older brother like me, a younger brother like my brother Bill. So we were like our own little gang, right? Played hockey together, hung out together, did stuff together. So in the summertime when it was like this, and I was thinking about this tonight, We had a street where, by the way, has anyone ever gone back to where if this isn't your hometown, have you ever gone back to the place where you lived and you thought the hill was really big, but it wasn't that big? Anyone have that? Yeah, well, or it was really big, I don't know. But yeah, so we lived on a hill, though, that it was fairly steep hill, and we used to try all kinds of crazy stuff. Like we had rollerblades, we had wagons, we had BMX bikes, we had bikes. We trashed everything. We just tried to do some great stuff, and we built ramps. So I said to my brother one day, we were a whole bunch of us, and we kept building this ramp, and it got bigger and bigger and bigger, and we were thinking, like, this is going to be great. And then we were thinking, like, who should go down there? And I looked at Frankie, and Frankie looked at me. He was like, dude, I'm not doing it. And we all kind of like, who'll do it? And so we all looked over and said, like, hey, let's get Bill to do it. Billy will do it. So we said to my brother, hey, Billy, let's get in the red wagon. We're going to push you down the hill. It's going to be so cool. You're going to hit the ramp. And he was like, no, dude, I'm not going to do that. And we were like, no, it's all right. So we went over to Frank's house, and Frank pulled out like this mattress, right? Because there's a mattress in the basement. So we pulled this mattress out, and we put it at the end of the ramp. And we said to Billy, hey, Billy, if we push you down this ramp, and then it goes, man, it's going to be amazing. You'll be like it's going to be awesome. It's going to be great. And he kept looking at us going like, no, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. And then we were like, then we pulled this card on him. Trust us. By the way, has anyone ever said to you, trust us? Yeah, so we got behind this little red wagon, and we're pushing my brother Bill like just full tilt down the hill. And he comes and he hits. I still remember it hits. And then you don't want these moments in life where everything in your life goes like slow motion? And I could see him as like he's leaving the wagon. The wagon's leaving him. He's now way past the mattress. Now he's headed toward the gravel driveway. Oh. He just rolling through the gravel driveway. And you can imagine, we were very fortunate. No broken bones, but lots of blood. Lots of stones, man. It was awesome to watch. Then I had to go home and explain this to my mother. Like that's a harder gig to go through right there. But has anyone ever told you, just trust me? And by the way, when that's happened, you get burned once, and do you go back for it again? No, sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. Yeah, sometimes you do. Sometimes you go back and go like, yeah, let's try that stupid thing again. Let's do that. But in our life, I just know that there's something about this. Sometimes it's hard to trust God. Here's a verse in the Bible. It says, trust the Lord with all your heart. Lean not to your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge Him, and He'll make your path straight. Well, that'd be great to go on a straight path. Especially if you've been doing a crooked path everywhere, and you're kind of going like, I'd like to go somewhere. And God says, trust me. So I just want to just stop and kind of jump around on this whole theme of trust for a bit tonight. You with me on that? We could do that for the next 10 minutes. So here we go on trust. God asks us to trust Him. That's the very first thing about our steps. So step 1, 2, and 3 are all about trust God. Let's just trust God. So you've been going your way. Why don't you go God's way? Trust God. Now here's a weird thing. Some people equate trusting God like trusting a church, which, by the way, church is a great thing, but you can have a bad church experience. And some people in the room might go like, oh, man, some stuff was weird in my life. But I haven't ditched church at all in my life. I just know that bad experiences happen, and that shouldn't be equated totally to God. But God is different than church. But God is about church. People. We've all probably been dished and dealt with a bad hand by people. Anybody in the room know that you've been betrayed by somebody? Yeah. And we've been hurt by other people. I want you to trust God. I want you to trust people. And that's two hard things because you might say, oh, I've been burned on both of those. And I want you to trust the process. Now, one of the great things about the 12 steps is just trust it. Do the work, right? Doesn't that, anybody in the room here know what the word is? Do the work. Do the work. Do the work. So we do the work. Trust the process. Trust the steps, which means that it's actually taking a step. One step and another step. Trust the journey. You're going to go somewhere. Trust the journey. Now, the trust is, we're going to get to this in a moment, because trust means you're going to have to do something. So it's like taking a walk, taking a hike. That's the next level up. Taking a trek, taking a climbing the mountain. These are all different things. If someone says you want to go for a walk and they start climbing a mountain, it's two different things altogether, right? So there's a lot of things about walking and taking a journey. What we're going to ask you here to do, I'll just tell you at steps in doing this in the fall. We're just going to ask you to start taking a journey, just taking a walk. Now, some of you are going to find that halfway through this walk, it's like, this is not a walk. This is a hike. Or this is like scaling a mountain. Nobody told me I was going to have to do all this work. And it takes a lot of work. One of the things that can happen in our life with someone can say, well, trust us. But you go, yeah, but I've done one of these things before and I've stubbed my toe, or I've stumbled over some rocks. Or anybody has been down off the rocks and you went into the swamp and you went in the muck. Anyone's been in deep muck? And you go like, man, I've been in the muck. And sometimes you have to go to a place where you go like, I can't get from this side to this side. I'm going to have to traverse this river. And this is going to take a lot more work than I thought. There's going to be current and pain and some issues and some things I'm going to have to walk through. Yep, you're going to have to do that. But here's the thing that I want you to know about all of this. Nobody here is being asked to do this alone. In fact, you cannot do it alone. Not alone. We do it together. Here's the thing that some people don't understand, too, about this part of the Christ-centered part of this what's happening in CR, at Celebrate Recovery, is that we understand that there is a dynamic of being saved to community and being saved in community. What I mean by that is that you have a relationship with God. We want everyone to have a relationship with God, not just with something or just a thought or an idea. Actually have a relationship with God. So spiritually, you're going to ask God to connect with you and you connect with God. And then secondly, it's that that's called like a salvation or save thing. It's like something happens spiritually. It's hard to explain, but you're also saved to community, which is kind of a weird thing. And in the saved to community means that you're also saved in community. If you don't stay in community, the chances of you being saved are less. Now, this seems weird, but it's a part of the dynamic. So we choose the people we hang out with very carefully because they are going to mold our lives. Now, you have to then trust people to do it, and trust might be a difficult thing. So somebody says, trust me. And so you might put your hand out and say, okay, I trust you. But then things don't go well. And then you might say sometime to a person, I don't trust you. Have you ever said that to somebody, even in anger? I don't trust you. You're slamming the door on them. So everyone in the room has probably been on the other dark side of this. So probably all of us in the room, honest, we've all done stuff that people go like, I shouldn't trust you. True? Really, think about it. Unless there's some real, magically pure people in the room that are just like unbelievable, there's probably things that happen in your life you're going like, yeah, you know what, maybe somebody shouldn't trust me on something. So then we say things like, well, trust me. And then, by the way, have you ever been in a relationship where it's gone bad and you've said these things like, oh, I'm so sorry, I'll never do it again? Anybody, or it's just me? All right, so I'm so sorry, I'll never do it again. Here's the thing. It's not what we say, it's what we do. So around here, we just keep saying to people, you can say all the words you want, but when you start doing something different, it's going to change your life. So James said this, who was the brother of Jesus. It's in the Bible, James 2:18. I will show you my faith by what I do. Look at, I'm gonna put my trust, and this is a weird thing. James's brother, the brother of Jesus, didn't say that he ever had a faith in his brother until his brother died, and then he just found, my brother's not like any other brother ever. And then he became a leader, and he gave leadership in the church of Jerusalem, which was the hardest place to actually serve. And he went on mission to tell people about Jesus. He was an amazing guy. Trust. This is what the word trust means. There's a belief in the reliability. There's a belief that someone's telling you the truth. There's a belief in the person's ability and the person's strength. I believe you, therefore I trust you. So if you can line up all those things, reliability, show up on time, do what you say, that kind of person. Truth, always tells the truth. Ability, they're like, they make things happen, and they're strong. They're strong in their walk. If you have a belief in that sense of reliability, that's called trust. Now, everyone in the room knows more about broken trust. Trust is broken, and we say never again. Here's other words that we put with it. Distrust, D-I-S, trust. We put it at the beginning of the word, right? Distrust, I distrust that person. Or I mistrust. They missed the trust last time, so I mistrust them now. mistrust. Mistrust and distrust bring about doubt and distance. So one of the things we need to do around here is just to say, I'm going to trust that you're going to be honest and I'm going to be honest. And we're going to trust that we're going to walk into this whole process of our life. Okay? So then we move into this space. Every day I spend time reading in the Bible a little bit for myself. And then I pray about it and I write something down. So today was, hey, but don't forget this one thing, dear friends. With the Lord, a day is like 1,000 years, and 1,000 years is like a day. The Lord is not slow in keeping his promise. His some understand slowness. Rather, he's patient with you, not wanting anyone to perish, but everyone to come to repentance. That's a good word. And I looked at that and I thought, my little picture, did you have a picture for today? Yeah, it was a clock. And all the seconds were ticking around, and all the seconds are flying away, and there was like a little bird at the end. And then I wrote at the bottom, my time keeps on slipping into the future. And then my head went to Steve Miller Band, which was like totally not anything in the Bible. It was just like, I'm an old guy, and I was thinking about that song, and it just kind of went into my head. And I thought, you know what? What this is telling me to do is that if you're going to be in this, hanging out here, you need to look forward. So here's the thing I'm going to say to you. You're going to have time to look back in your life, but all the stuff that you look back in your life, you need to deal with that stuff, but what you need to do is look forward. So here's the thing. Can you do anything about yesterday? No. If you screwed up yesterday, if I screwed up yesterday, we screwed up yesterday, yesterday is yesterday, correct? So then we have to deal with today. And today we have to say, I'm going to live and lean into the future. So what happens is, I want to know what healing and change in my life. So look and listen. The past is about learning. The present is about practice. And the future is all about embracing. And that was the word that kind of came to me today. So it takes time. Secondly, if you're going to trust, you have to turn. Turn around, face the truth. Face the truth with yourself and face the truth with someone else. So we want to say this over and over again here. As often as possible, how about every day? Just stop lying to yourself. Here's a way. Make a list of lies you tell yourself. Just put it in a book. Here's the stuff I lie about. I'm just lying to me. It's not like I'm lying to anybody else. This is my lies. I lie to me. And you start looking at that and you go like, I should stop lying to me. And then go look at your mirror in the face in the mirror. James did that. He said, oh, it's weird. We all look at our face in the mirror and then we forget what we look like. Here's the amazing thing is face-to-face truth is the best. That's why when God says to us, I don't want to be so far away from you that you don't get me. Turn to me in your spirit and face me. Now, I don't know where facing God is for you, if that's looking up or that's looking down or that's looking around you. And it might be all of those things. But you need to open your eyes and say, God, where are you? And then God says, like, well, I created everything around here. What are you looking at? You want to talk to me? I want to talk to you. And then God says, all right, let's talk. And then he says, let's just do this kind of face-to-face. We don't have to have anybody else around. What's going on in your life? And you kind of go, well, I've really messed up in the past. He goes, like, I know everything. Yep, let's talk about that. What do you want? I want to be forgiven. He goes, I can do that. And what do I want to do? I want to face the future and live a different way. Okay, I can do that. And I can bring healing to your life. Now, if what I just said to you, you don't believe, then that's not, I want to tell you, that what I just gave to you was the word called the gospel. That's the good news. The good news is God wants to transform everyone's life in the room. Are you with me on this? So you turn, and then it says not only turn to God, but turn to other people. And then you're going to go like, whoa, now I've got to turn to other people and trust other people. There are some crazy people in this room. There's some really whacked out people in this room. So here's the deal. If you're in this room and kind of going like you think you're normal, you're in the wrong place. None of us in this place are normal. You look at it, we look at another, yeah, there we go. We look at another person and just kind of go like, here's the deal. I don't get it, but I like showing up here and I just want you to know I'm going to trust you. Be weird. Just be weird about it. And here's the thing. The people that you're going to trust beside you have let other people down before, but not the next time maybe. Because in themselves, they're going to say, I'm going to stop lying. I'm going to start facing my own stuff. I want to face other people, and I want to be a different person. Is that what you want to be? Then that's what this is about. So here it is. It takes time. You got to turn, and then you got to trust. Here's what I want to tell you about trust. Real loud as I can. I don't want anyone sleeping. If I can wake you up, this is it. Trust is a choice. You don't have to trust anyone. You choose to trust. You choose to trust God. You choose to trust another person. You choose to trust again. And if you've been burned and hurt in your heart, get some healing done and then trust somebody. And not everyone is out here to do you in and mess your life up. This is about trust too. Trust is only good as if you apply it. It's the app. If you don't apply trust, it doesn't work. So here's the thing. I come week after week, and I just trust that people will do stuff. And when people do it, I go, great. Sometimes people don't do stuff. Sometimes I don't do stuff. And then I realize there's a gap, and I'm going to talk about that in a moment. By the way, trust is the basic of all relationships. No trust, no relationship. All right, I'm worked up about this, but let me find a Bible verse and quit. All right, so here we go. I had it marked, and then I flipped it out. And, oh, yeah, here, I can do this from this way. So there's a passage in the Bible, 1 Corinthians 13, and it's all about love, right? But there's a little crazy verse in there, verse 7 I love. It says, love, it always protects. Second one is always what? What do you think it is? The word. Always. There we go. Always, let's all say it together. Always trust. So it always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. It's like this boom, 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 boom. But trust is in the thing. If you love someone, if you love God, if you start having a relationship with God and it's about love, He loves you, you love Him, there's a relationship there. It's about protection and trust and hope and perseverance. It's beautiful. Now, here's the thing. I've spoken about this before and I remind myself all the time. There is a gap between what is promised and what happens. It's the gap. The promise. So people said this. Look here's the thing. Here's the greatest thing I know about everyone in this room. We are all the best at promising stuff to people. I promise. You've probably said that. That's true. Let's be honest, right? Promise. I promise I'll never do it again. I'll never get stoned again. I'll never get drunk again. I'll never have sex with anybody. I'll be your guy. You'll be your, and then you do it. So here's the deal. I'm never going to lie again. Come on. Okay. So we go crazy in this area. So there's this gap. Everyone has an expectation. And this is the thing. Some of you don't like your mothers because you expected them to be perfect people. Your mothers are screwed up and messed up. Your dads are messed up. They might be wonderful people in ways, or they could be horrible people. But the reality is just they're people. And you have this expectation, I didn't have a dad. You know what might cry when I was a little kid? I didn't have a dad who'd take me fishing. You know what? My dad didn't like fishing. So why would he take me fishing? Right? It was like weird, but I was like, every little boy whose dad loves him takes him fishing. That's not true. It's just nuts. If you have a crazy expectation, get rid of it. And here, the experience is something different. The gap in the middle is called disappointment. Anyone ever been disappointed? Yeah, so we know what that is. So we choose to go what goes in the gap. I'm going to close with this. You can assume the worst or you can assume the best. What do you want to assume? There we go. I want to believe the best in you. I want to believe in the best in the fact that the people in this room want to see transformation and change in their life. I want to believe that people in this room want to build relationships with other people who also want to have change in their life. I want to believe that there are many, many people in my life that I haven't yet even trusted that I want to believe the best for. You want to believe the best for somebody? Here's the thing that's different. If you turn to someone right now and go like, I believe the worst of you, how do you think that's going to go right now? Especially some of you guys who came together. If people drove together here tonight, probably not going to go really well when you drive out of here. But if you turn to someone and say, you know what, I expect the best of you. If you tell me tonight you've done some stuff, some things have happened, but you're going to see change in your life, I'm going to expect the best in you. Secondly, when others assume the worst in you, will you defend me? Yeah. So when someone comes to me and go like, oh, you know that guy? Let me tell you a bad thing about that guy. Or do you walk out and just tell everybody else, oh, I heard that bad thing about that guy? Or do you come and say, hey, wait a second. I don't know, that's possible. But I know who that person is now, and I want you to stop that conversation right now. Can you imagine if everyone in the room lived like that? Wow. Okay, I'll get excited here. Number 3. When experience erodes in trust, talk face to face. Go to someone and say, I don't know what happened here, but I had this expectation, and then this happened out, and it didn't work out really well. Could you tell me what went on in here in the middle? And the person may tell you something real, like, yeah, life got really messed up here. Okay. And somebody might say, I'm sorry, I didn't mean that. And you go, okay. I didn't get that. All right. Let's move on. Because sometimes if you ever make a story up about another person, it's a bad place to be in your head. I'll just stop there. Please, let's talk to another person and not talk about other people. Okay? All right, just be hard here. I just want to be hard. Number 4, I just want to give you, can't fulfill a promise, you can't fulfill a promise, then tell somebody else sooner than later. I can't do it. I'm not able. That's not going to work. I told you I could show up. I told you I could do it. I can't do it. It's better to tell someone the truth, right? Then the person, okay, got it. All right, you're my bud. Let's keep going. Maybe a little farther apart right now, but let's keep going. Number 5, confront the gap and tell the truth. Then instead of saying these words, hey, I'm so sorry, I'll do better. Just do better. Just be the person that doesn't talk about other people behind their back. Just be a person who tells yourself the truth and stop lying to yourself. I'm more concerned that you lie to yourself than you can lie to other people. And good liars to other people lie to themselves all the time. And my mom, who was a wise woman, she said, you know the problem with lies? If you tell yourself the lie often enough, you start to believe it's a truth. And you got to be really careful. And God says, by the way, if you just tell me the truth, we're good. And some of you don't believe that. You think if you tell God the truth, then it's all over. It's actually the opposite. He says, I hate it when people run away and hide. What'd you do? I don't know. I was naked. Now I don't know. It's a Bible story. Don't worry about it. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm done. Okay, it was okay talk tonight? I don't have to do any more. All right. We're going to do something before we go to group. Let's stand up. I want to put the serenity prayer up, and I'd like us to read it together. It's a good prayer. Let's read it together. Everyone, if you can, stand. Let's say this together. I'll just turn to the screen too. Let's just say it together. Ready? God, grant me the serenity to change the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Living one day at a time, enjoying one moment at a time, accepting hardships as a pathway to peace, taking as he did this simple world as it is, not as I would have it, trusting that he will make all things right if I surrender my will to him, and be reasonably happy in this life and supremely happy with him forever in the next. Reasonably happy. We're going to be reasonably happy. I'm more than reasonably happy. Can I just, if you came in with less than, I just want to give you some more reasonably happy tonight. And thank you, Jesus, for bringing us here tonight. Are you back there, David? Just give us time is slipping away, and let's go to group. Thanks, guys. We'll see you. For those who want to hang around, we'll be back in an hour. That's it.